Hello and welcome to the Capital Area Theater Show. I am your host, Jeremy Patterson, and with me today is local actor, comedian, improv member, JC Payne.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, JC, what's going on?
Not too much.
Thank you for sitting down.
Thank you for having me.
So, you're not here connected to any specific project or anything. So, I figured we can give the listeners a little bit of your background theatrically.
Yeah, totally. Well, we've actually known each other for I think forever.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's like over a decade, right?
Over a decade.
Like about as long as I've been doing theater. Because we met when I was doing Dear Edwina.
Dear Edwina Jr.
Dear Edwina Jr.
At East Junior.
Yeah, and you were in Seussical, the musical.
Yeah, I just done Seussical at East High. So, Dear Edwina was your show in the 7th or 8th grade?
7th grade. That was like the first real show I ever did.
Okay, so you didn't do like church productions and pageants?
Yeah, but that doesn't really count.
Okay, that was just...
I don't really count that as... Because for me, I didn't take that in my head as acting. It's like, oh, my parents really want me to do this.
Okay. So, Dear Edwina Jr. is your starting place. What about doing Dear Edwina Jr. let you know that this is something you really wanted to do with your life?
To be honest, it was the girls.
Really?
Yeah. That's the first thing that made me think that this was something I should continue doing. It's like, oh, there are a lot of really attractive women here. I should stick with this theater thing.
Women in 8th grade?
7th grade.
7th grade, that's the women. Okay. So, like many great artists, you were doing it for the girls. What kept you in it?
Well, for a while it was the girls for a while.
Just the girls? Okay.
Like up until probably Urinetown.
And that was your senior show?
Yeah, my senior year. That was like the first role I really took extremely seriously. Like I was immediately memorized all the lines, like got off books so I could just do the work. And I had an awesome time. Like that's something I'd really like to revisit.
Okay, so there's a 5-year gap in here between Dear Edwina Jr. and Urinetown, in which you played...
Geez. Smokey Joe's Cafe, I was the bass.
No. Who did you play in Urinetown?
Oh, Lockstock, Officer Lockstock.
Okay, so you get to Lockstock, who's a leading character, and you jumped ahead of me. You knew where I was going. You have that space between Dear Edwina and Lockstock. What were the shows that you did in between there to build up the skills to get to having a lead?
Like there's Smokey Joe's, where again I was the bass. Ragtime, when I was Booker T. Washington.
And that was at YFC.
Yeah, Youth for Christ, now known as the what is it called now?
Harrisburg Christian Performing Arts Center?
That's what it. Yeah, that sounds correct.
I think that's right.
It's it's on Eisenhower Boulevard. It's a nice place. The Great All-American Musical Disaster, where I played Flint Wormwood, who's it's like a take on Clint Eastwood.
Okay.
So I wore a really bad wig and talked very softly. What else? Oh, How to Succeed in Business.
Mm-hmm.
Which you were the lead in.
Yeah.
J. Pierpont. And that's when I had my crazy afro.
Yeah, we switched haircuts.
We did, yeah. Yeah, now I have your haircut from that show. God, what else? There's a Shakespeare play. I did a Shakespeare play at some point. Taming of the Shrew, that's what it was.
Okay.
And got an Apollo Award for that. And that was the same year as Urinetown, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you get to Urinetown, and you have all of these roles where you're working, but the work is a vehicle to something else.
Yeah, I wasn't married to the work. I I wasn't as invested as like other people were. I was a hobbyist.
Okay. So you do Urinetown, and you put all this energy and effort into it, and you take it seriously. And like you said, there was an Apollo Award involved, but
Two Apollo awards.
well, no, I mean for that show.
Okay. Yeah.
But speaking separately of the shows, what cemented it away from like the awards as the work you wanted to do with that show, or was that just the stepping off point, and you just started to that's where you started to love it?
Well, the thing about Officer Lockstock is he gets to break the fourth wall. Like he's there with the audience, so you get to play with them, and just the feeling of like knowing that I have this audience in the palm of my hand, and like they're so happy to see the next joke happen, or they're every time I'd come on stage, like the energy would shift, and just being aware of that, I was like, oh, this is something that I should continue doing for as long as I can.
Okay. So it becomes something that you want to do. Where do you go from there? Because that's your senior show.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next step?
Well, I went to school. I went to Wagner College for 2 years before I came back here. And I did the Laramie Project up there, and Rent, played Benny, and I learned a lot because I went to school for theater performance, so I got to grow a lot and like build a toolbox that I could use, and then it came back and we did Fences.
Yeah.
Which was a very interesting experience.
Okay. Well, let's not skip over Wagner too heavy, because you said you built up a toolbox. As a performer, you're still fairly young, but you work as often as possible.
As much as can.
What are some of the tools that you were given at Wagner after you have this time and this experience at East, but you're not taking it as seriously as you said other people were taking it? What in your toolbox at Wagner, or what did you learn that created your toolbox from Wagner, I'll say?
Well, I had a lot of like life experience before that. Like, as you know, my mother passed away in the summer before I went away to school. Mm-hmm. So, and it was a sudden passing. It was tragic. So, like she passed away. Next week we had a funeral. Week after that I shot for college, and the week after that I was at college. Yeah. So, I'm still grieving, and like the fact that I was going to school for theater meant that I learned how to like harness that pain and turn it into something positive for an audience, or like even for myself. Mm-hmm. So that was very special for me. Okay. So it sounds like in building your toolbox, it was also theater as something that was a savior. Yeah. I didn't take it seriously for a very long time, and as I like got older and like had things happen in my life, I have this thing now where I can't go more than like maybe like 6 months without doing something theatrically. Yeah. Like I don't think of it as something that I like to do. It's something that I have to do. It's without it, I feel that I would die. Like that's how much I love being on stage.
Okay. So it sounds like going to Wagner and having those years up there really informed your process as a performer. So you decide to come home, back to Harrisburg, and as you mentioned, you get cast in Fences. Mm-hmm. You had done community theater shows, you had done school shows. Mm-hmm. Open Stage is one of our regional theaters, so it's professional. Tell me about the experience of working on that production and what that meant for you.
Well, I had done like quite a few shows before Fences,
Mm-hmm.
but I had never done an August Wilson show before. I didn't know who August Wilson was, and typically before, I wouldn't play anybody that was written specifically as an African American, or if they were written in like with very broad, stereotypical strokes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always a Beheading in Spokane. I did a Beheading in Spokane. That's a perfect example because it's very well written and it has this black character Toby, but he's there's not a lot of depth there, and I felt I didn't gain that much from it artistically. Like it's a fine comedy, but it's just I didn't grow from it.
Okay.
And then with Fences, you have all of these black characters, and everyone's so rich, and there's so many dimensions, and you can just dig as deep as you want to dig. And we had a great cast, Sharia Ben, just yeah,
Oh, Sharia.
yeah, Sharia in anything. Sharia should be in everything.
She really should be.
She's love her, love that woman. But yeah, Fences was a very interesting experience because I'd never been gifted this much, to explore on stage. And that production in particular, because the Troy, the lead in the show, was before when we went up, it was Leonard Dozier.
Correct.
But before him, they cast this other person,
Mm-hmm.
and he wasn't terrible when we were doing the table work or when we started the blocking, but when it came time to be off book, wasn't off book.
Right.
And that it turned into the slowest dirge. And, we were 2 weeks out when Leonard came on board.
Yeah.
And, then it became a very, very, very rewarding experience. But, like, before that, oh, man. So that, Fences will always stick out in my mind. It'll hold a special place in my heart.
So you have you step your toe in the professional waters, immediately think this could be problematic because you have this issue. And then 2 weeks out, which is a very condensed time period, even for professionals, it starts to be rewarding. And you say the characters start to be rewarding. Now you have your toolbox from Wagner, which is allowing you to react to things and embrace the pain in your own life. If you're able, talk to me a little bit about applying that to performing the work of August Wilson and performing with the people that you perform with, even excluding myself, because, the opportunity to work with, like we said, Sharia Ben, Leonard Dozier, Aaron Bomar, I want to say Skinny Mike.
Yeah, Skinny Mike.
So bad, but that is...
Powell? Mike Powell?
His last name is Powell.
Mike Powell.
Senna.
Yeah, Senna Green.
So
she's wonderful.
So, talk to me a little bit about that experience.
Well, yeah, they're all great, and it was also my first time working with Don Alsadek, handing out the make another choice note. That was my first encounter with that.
Yes.
My feelings were so hurt the first time I heard that. I was like, what do you mean? I like what I'm doing. You don't, okay. But I get it now.
It takes time.
It does. But yeah, it was a really great cast. Like, Leonard came on board immediately and fucking threw me off my shit. Can I curse? I just cursed.
Go for it.
Because, he's huge. He's a giant man.
Yeah.
Leonard Dozier, if you don't know, he's like 6'5" or something. Yeah. Like, she's woof. Just, so I'm always looking up at him, and he's like yelling at me because, he's playing my dad. And it's like, whoa, man, you're actually getting to me.
Yeah, he will he will do that.
So he was a lot of fun, and then Sharia, of course, is Sharia, making me cry every night.
Making everybody cry all the time. So good.
Yep, yeah. I've had the pleasure of working with her again since then on Raisin and Peter Hook and the Darlings. Although I mostly worked with Nadia on Raisin.
Yeah.
Because I was only in 2 scenes.
We'll get there.
Well,
So, and then, like we said, you had the experience of working with Aaron Bomar.
oh, love him. That man can read a line like nobody's business. Like, with stuff you could never even, like, why didn't I think of that? And I'm very, very jealous of that skill.
Yeah. And if anybody is interested in hearing Aaron Bomar's thoughts and feelings of his own, they're in a previous episode of this podcast, which is very, very entertaining and insightful. So you do fences, and then what comes next?
I think it was Raisin. Not sure what I did in between there. Oh, Stories from Home. Was that Stories from Home?
Stories from
We
Home.
did Stories from Home, and that was Stories from Home.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Sharia was in that.
And Aaron.
And Aaron Bomar. Both great people. And I think we were in it at some point as well.
And you, me.
Ferris.
What's Ferris's last name?
Natalia. I'm sorry, Ferris.
Nina Christine.
Yeah, Nina Christine. It's a nice, easy one. Yeah.
And John Bailey.
Oh my God. Dr. John Bailey.
Dr. John Bailey.
What a wonderful man. What's he doing now?
Being a doctor and being awesome, I'm assuming.
Yeah, probably.
So then, after that, you say you step into Raisin.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me a little bit about the experience of doing a Raisin in the Sun.
Well, I played Joseph Asagai. He's from Nigeria, so I had to rock the accent. So I went on the International Phonetic Language Database and listened to a bunch of different recordings of people from Nigeria and Sudan and other parts of Africa, like listening to their accents and just trying to, give myself a distinct one. And nobody said they hated it, so that's good.
Yeah.
But and it was interesting. It wasn't like a whole lot of work. Like I had one big-ish monologue. But once you memorize that, there's not much else for you to do. And Nadia was great to work with. She's on TV now, I believe. So she was in something. I'm sure. I saw her at the Hamilton auditions.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, no, all the black people showed up. We were all there.
Of course. I mean, I wasn't there, but I'm only half black, so.
So
So I thought about going.
Well, yeah. There were some Asians there. There were some straight up Asians.
I like the idea of them just being, oh, you're the straight up Asian.
Not like those other ones.
Hey.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry.
It's alright.
Asians. No, I had a great time with that sidebar. So whenever people would walk by in this giant line for the Hamilton auditions, and they'd be like, oh, what is this a line for? I'm like, oh, it's the new Jordans.
Awesome. Amazing. Perfect response. Since they have been slowly re-releasing all the old Jordans one by one,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a matter of time till they get around to the ones that I want. And then I'll be copping the new Jordans. But that's neither here nor there.
Yep, alright, yep. New Jays.
Okay. I can legitimize that tangent. So, a lot of people talk to me about Jordan Payne, but that's not your name.
Well, no, it is my name. It's not how... Okay. Alright, so...
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So my first name is spelled Jurdan. And the reason for that is after I was born, my mother was on a lot of painkillers. So she, goes to write my name down in the birth certificate, and she doesn't quite complete the circle for the O. And then the nurse that's on duty at the time sees that and, puts it in the system as a U. And after my mom sobered up after that, she thought it was really unique, so she kept it. But it's a typo. She always called me Jordan. Like, the only people that call me Jordan were substitute teachers and, like, my grandmother. So it says, it looks like Jordan, but it's actually Jordan. And that's why I eventually was just like, okay, JC. So it doesn't confuse people as much.
Okay. Well, there you go. Well, I call you Payne, so...
Yeah, nice and easy.
That cuts out the problem for me, but I'll never forget when I saw that in the program for fences. I think that was the first time I saw that.
What, JC or
Jordan?
Yeah, okay.
By JC. I was like, what? Who's this guy? I don't know this guy. And you were just like, yeah, it's professional. And my mind immediately went to like, well, I like MC Gainey, JT Walsh, F. Murray Abraham.
JC Chazez.
Sure, if that's the route you want to go with it.
It's great music, man. What are you talking about?
Solo? Is it his solo music we love?
Yeah, that one song, the
what was it?
Move your booty.
You started the curse and I'm calling bullshit. That's alright. Somebody's got to shovel it. Back to Hamilton. Anyways. So, you got to work with Nadia, got to work with Leonard again, got to work with Don again. So you're building up a reputation and you're picking up steam. You're working consistently. What are you doing outside of the productions at Open Stage? Because they are a year apart.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Stories from Home counts as one of those intervals. But you say you need to be on stage. So what are you doing consistently to keep yourself on stage?
Well, it was around that time I would have been doing like open mics. That was around the time I started doing improv in the area, and that's a very nice consistent thing to like know that I will always have that.
Okay.
And I'm sure I did something in between, but I can't think of it right now.
That's fine.
I feel bad.
Well, once again, as I tell many of the guests, in the event that you're back and you're back to promote something, there's always a chance to catch up.
Word. Oh yeah, I was also a popcorn hat player before I left for school. I forgot to mention that. I was in The Princess and the Pea. Played the prince, opposite David Zayas and Robert Campbell. And Jeremy... with the last name, he totally has a last name. He's a nice guy. Oh, man. Oh, I feel so bad right now for not remembering this person's name. Oh, well.
Garrett?
Maybe. Do you work at Gambit?
I think. Well, from one Jeremy to another, sorry for forgetting your last name.
Yeah, dude. He's fine. I'm sure he's fine.
So, you're doing improv, you're doing these shows. What show comes after Risen the Sun?
That was Dog Sees God.
With?
The Bare Bones Theater Ensemble is directed by Caitlin Tran.
Caitlin Gracie Tran.
Oh, no, sorry. Caitlin Gracie. It's just Caitlin Gracie now.
Okay.
Yes, right. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, Caitlin. Dog Sees God. So, for a while I'd been playing very wholesome characters, like really nice guys. And I was getting really tired of that. I was like, man, I want to play somebody that has some darkness. I want to like do some bad shit. And along comes Dog Sees God, where I played the worst person ever. I played
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to give our listeners an idea of what Dog Sees God is?
Oh yes, okay. Dog Sees God. It is about the Peanuts characters, Charlie Brown and the like, and they're all grown up. They're in high school now, and they are terrible people. So I played Pigpen growing up, and his name in the show is Matt, and he's a germaphobe now and a huge homophobe. Like, I had to call somebody a faggot, excuse me, like, a lot. And it was Jason Whetstone, and he's a very nice man, and I always felt so bad. Like, I just walk up to him after and be like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He's like, it's it's fine. But
yeah, so that's the darkness that you're trying to get to.
that was the tip of the iceberg, I later found out.
Oh, yes, we'll get there. But talk to me about working with Caitlin, because I know Caitlin from
Rent.
working on a production of Rent, and when she was ruminating about the idea of a company.
Mm-hmm. So
the idea of her actually putting the company together, and from the inception to this completion, it intrigues me, it makes me proud. But talk to me a little bit about your process of working with her.
Well, she has a very, I like her approach to directing. She kind of lets you be in like whatever kind of ideas or whatever things I would come up with. She would be like, oh yes, I fucking love that, keep that. So it was fun just to like be on my own for the things I wanted to be on my own for, and if I needed help with something, I could be like, hey, I don't know what to do here, and she could give me some guidance. And there were some fun people to work with in the cast, like Joanna Hooper, love that woman.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason Whetstone was great, as well as Biscuit. But yeah, Dog Sees God was nice and dark, and I felt really bad for myself every night, which I guess is what I wanted. I guess that's what I wanted. That's what I got.
Okay.
So it was a show. I was there.
Nice. So, moving on from Dog Sees God, what comes next?
That would have been the fall. Jesus Christ, what did I do next? I want to say The Seagull. That's what I want to say.
Well, if we go back to the fall, you would have been prepping for either Two Trains Running, maybe, or Red Velvet, right?
Oh yes, Red Velvet. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's after that is when I heard about Red Velvet, because it was like the summertime. What's up, Harves?
Sorry, my dog Harvey is, I think, saying he wants to be taken out.
Like killed?
No, taken outside.
Oh.
Anyways, you heard about Red Velvet.
Yeah, Red Velvet. Yeah, I saw Clark Nicholson, and he was like, "Hey, we're doing this play, Red Velvet. I think you should come out and audition." And I got a hold of the script, and I really dug the script. It's about the first black actor to ever play Othello, and Adrian Lester was in the original cast, and I love Adrian Lester.
Who doesn't?
He's great. Really charismatic guy. So yeah, I went and I auditioned, and I prepared a lot for that. And then I went to callbacks, and callbacks were very intense. And it was, from what I understand, it was between me and another actor, and they went with the other one, and they said, hey, we really liked what you were doing, but we thought that you looked too young. And I was like, that's fair.
You are young.
Yeah, I'm a cherubic looking, motherfucker. And that was fine, and I was like, okay, no Red Velvet, cool. And then Tom Weaver, Dreamweaver, emails me.
Dreamweaver.
Yes.
Guest number 1.
Yeah, love that guy so much. He emailed me and was like, hey, I'm doing this play called The Seagull. I think you'd be a really good Constantine or Medvedenko. And I was like, okay. And like I didn't know Chekhov really, except for like from other actors talking about it, being like, oh yes, Chekhov.
Yeah.
We do Chekhov plays. And I'm like, okay, that sounds, weird and elitist. So I get a hold of the Seagull and I read it, and I track Constantine's arc, which is just the journey to making the decision to end your own life. So I was like, oh, tons of fun.
Spoilers for the Seagull.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm not sorry. That play's really old. Shame on you for not knowing that, listener.
Shame on you for not knowing, that. You just check off. Now you're shaming the listeners. I'll stand up for you guys. It's okay. I still haven't read any Chekhov, although I did see it. And it was very good.
Yeah, it was a time.
So you tracked your arc.
Yeah, very, very sad. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this. But I wanted to. I found myself being pushed toward the material, so I prepared real hard for the callbacks, and I was off book in the room for those, and I brought props and shit. I went hard.
Yeah, I remember.
So I got the role.
Okay.
Shocked.
Which role?
Constantine.
Okay.
Kostya, Konstantin, Gavrilovich, Treplev, Jurgenstein, Hergenberg.
Okay, I think you're making these up. I was with you for a while. I was like, wait a second.
They all have 14 names because it's Chekhov. I get cast in it opposite Amber Wagner-Mann as the girl that breaks me. So that was a lot of fun because she's a great actress.
She is indeed.
Lots of fun to just cry in her general direction every night.
She gives it back 100%.
Yeah, you got that right. Woo! Man. Good thing there was a bar in that theater. Yes.
As we drink from Gamut.
Yeah. Oh yes,
Cups down.
yes. The Gamut teeny cups. Shout out to Gamut.
Shout out to the cups. Wait, no, Gamut.
Yeah,
you were meant the first time.
Yeah, the cups. That's
If they weren't filled with smoothie, I would say we should do the cup song to justify my statement. But I don't know how to do that thing.
It's I'm not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
No, we're not. So, back to the Seagull.
Yeah.
So you worked with Amber.
Mm-hmm. Dreamweaver was the director. Clark Nicholson played Dr. Dorn. Jeff Wasilewski, who's the man, playing Soren.
You had stage managed Amish project.
That's right. I did do that really depressing thing.
Sorry. Back to
Yeah, we got to backtrack.
Yeah, we'll go back to it.
Oh, and Peter Hook and the Darling skipped over that too. Oh man, we're messing up.
We.
Yeah, all right. I'll take that. So the Amish project.
No, just finish your cast from the Seagull.
Okay. So did Wasilewski. Wasilewski is Soren. Jeff Ludermoser playing Trigorin. Tara Haywig. Yes?
How was it in the show? Why did you ask me?
I'm bad with pronunciations. It's alright. Yes, Tara. Tara played my mom. CJ McConnell and Kevin were the cook and the servant, respectively. Who else? Francesca playing Masha's mom. Michelle K. Smith playing Masha. And they're all throwing down. So I was like, I should probably throw down too. Frank Henley killing it as a horrible, awful drunk. That character scared the shit out of me. I didn't get anywhere near him on stage. But yeah, it was a good time. First time I ever had to break down in front of an audience.
Okay.
And consistently. And every night I'd go into it being like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find the tears, and then I'd be in it and be like, oh no, it's just I'm gonna cry harder every single time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a very interesting experience because halfway through the run, I found out that my father was passing away. He was in the process of passing away. It's very I know, Harvey. It was very sad. And then like I still went and completed the run, and like that Saturday show, because I found out on a Saturday afternoon, and then it went like 3 hours later, did the show. That was probably the most intense like I've ever been on a stage.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I'm acting, right? That's why I do it.
Okay, well, we're going to take this moment to take a break. And then when we come back, we'll finish out some more on the Seagull and then go back and touch on the productions that we missed earlier.
We're going to touch them all.
Nice.
And we're back.
Yes, we are. Okay, so we talked about the intensity of working on the Seagull. Whew. And what that meant. But we also, in naming your castmates, stumbled upon the fact that you've stage managed, which is something I left out of not only your description, but the opportunity to add into the timeline of what you've been working on.
Well, yeah, I also ASM'd at Allenbury.
Okay, so that was directly after Raisin?
Yeah. After Raisin, well, no, after Dog Sees God, I was working as an ASM at the Allenbury Playhouse, and I assistant stage managed Plaza Suite, Neil Diamond play, Shout the Mod musical, which is a review show, and I got to work with some really cool people, Michael Yanucci, Lenine Charters, in Plaza Suite. Aaron Whitcomb was also in that, and my best buddy from Wagner, Keelan Alakai Sarno, is my homie. And then in Shout the Mod musical, there was Betsy Andrzejowski. It's a very Italian last name.
Okay.
But, she knows who she is.
Yeah.
And Alison Mickelson, Katie Sexton, Beth DeMichael. She's getting married this weekend, and she will be Beth DeMichael. And Melanie Kahn. That was the other one. And they were all great. Just I had a great time. Because it was an equity house. It's closed now. R.I.P. It's very sad. But I got to work under Ryan Gibbs, who's the artistic director. Like, really smart dude. So much fun just to watch him put a show together in the room. And Tara Kelly as a stage manager, who's like the Obi-Wan Kenobi of stage managers. So after I did those, and I was coming into open stage to do the read through for Peter Hook and the Darlings, and I saw Anne Alsadek, what's up, girl? And she was like, hey, Don's directing the Amish project. We don't have a stage manager. And I was like, well, I'm ASM in some stuff. I could probably do that. And so I came on board. My first day was like their off book day, and I didn't read the script beforehand and didn't know that it was about this massacre that happened in an Amish schoolhouse. It was very surprising. But yeah, that show was depressing. Yeah, that was the Amish project. Alexis Dow Campbell was in that. She killed it.
As always.
Noelle Sacker, Sheridan Norris, Jeremy Burkett, and Jeff Wasilewski. And I'm forgetting someone.
Sushma!
Yes, Sushma. And there's one more person. Oh my gosh. Lisa Dickerson. Who was great. So yeah, they're a fun group of people to be working with. And then after that I did Peter Hook and the Darlings under Stuart Landon's direction. And that was fun because it was a show it's based on J.M. Barr's novel, but it's Stuart's adaptation. So I played 3 or 4 different characters, and I got to come at it with whatever crazy accent I wanted to.
Okay.
So for Michael Darling, I did the most. Who's the guy in Mary Poppins that does that really shitty accent?
Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah, that times 1,000. That's the kind of thing I did for Michael Darling, or no, for Nib, the Lost Boy.
Yes, our very current reference of Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke, yeah, deep cuts.
Hey, he's still alive.
He is.
Yeah, man, he's killing it. He came out and was dancing recently.
I saw that video.
Yeah, he's in a music video, but then he also did something like Disney and was doing Step in Time. If he's alive when they do this new Mary Poppins with Emily Blunt and Lin-Manuel Miranda, you best believe he will be dancing somewhere in that.
I hope he raps too.
That'd be amazing.
Mm-hmm. There you go, Lynn. That's free. That's a freebie.
Yeah, from us to you.
Please mail your checks to.
Oh yeah, I'd set up a PO box for that.
Yeah.
No, the real thing is, and this is just between us in a way. I feel like Bryan Cranston and Dick Van Dyke need to play father and son real badly because there's something really similar to me about them.
Mm-hmm.
But
No, I watched the shit out of that.
yeah, watch anything Bryan Cranston would do.
Yeah, you see All the Way?
That was amazing, dude. I was like, after Trumbo, I am questioning where I stand, and I saw All the Way and was just like, well, that should have been the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fat Mackie,
So good. Actually, Fat Mackie, too.
oh yeah, he gained the weight.
It's like, you go ahead, man.
I'm gonna eat all the food I will eat for Avengers: Civil War and do none of the workout, and then it will.
Yeah, it'll balance out. Mike and an Emmy. Who knows?
As David Oyelowo goes, how quickly I am forgotten. That's the best impression I could do. I don't know what accent it was, but I don't know what accent he has, so...
It's A Most Violent Year, David Oyelowo?
Sure. Is that the one with Oscar Isaac?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Had to watch that to wash the bad taste of X-Men Apocalypse out of my mouth.
Oh, come on, you can't even tell it's him.
I can.
You know you can't.
I know it's him.
Nah, because that character's eyes are so dead. No, that's me. No, but they're covering him and Idris Elba. They're gonna cover him in makeup. What is
In the Fang things.
What is the point of that?
Maybe he wanted to do it.
I'm sure he did, but still, I feel like treating him like we treated Cameron Diaz in the '90s. You're just pretty. Deal with it. Yeah, I know she wasn't the best.
Yeah, it was like The Mask, and then that's it. I'm sorry, Cameron.
So much promise. Yeah, like we know her.
Sorry.
Anyways, back to your career.
Yeah. Hey. Speaking of The Mask.
Please tie that back in. I want to see how you do this.
Well, in Peter Hook and the Darlings, I wore a hat. And a hat is something you put on your head.
Aw, boo! Boo! That was weak.
It's like a mask.
You could have... Okay, fine. Sure.
Or the different masks I put on to play these characters.
Okay, there we go.
That's where I was going. That's where I was eventually going.
Okay. Well, you got there.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
So Peter Hook and the Darlings.
Yes.
I had to wear a lot of different masks because I played several characters.
Was it a mask show?
No, they weren't actual masks. I mean, figurative.
I'm clarifying.
Or, yeah, for you viewers. I know you're curious.
The viewers, people stare at that one picture on
Yep.
the YouTube screen.
It's hard to listen to something and then read something else.
That's true, but I'd like to think that people are folding laundry or cooking or...
Just not sitting staring at the screen. Yeah, that's bad for your eyes, listener.
Yeah. Stop staring at screens. That's all we do with our lives now.
Yeah, it won't connect with someone.
Like we're doing, about Jordan's career.
Yes.
So, Peter Hook and the Darlings, you get through the Seagull, and now we're here.
Yeah, I'm here, sitting here and doing improv. I'm a member of TMI.
Talk to me about that. Because you said you've been doing improv intermittently between other major gigs, and you've consistently done that as part of being on stage in your life. Talk to me about TMI, because I know nothing about improv other than Yes and, which I was taught by the great Aiden Roth.
Oh, yes, love him. Shout out to Aiden Roth out in L.A. right now.
California
He's
somewhere.
Somewhere in California doing stuff.
He's going to be on billboards.
Yep. I'll be like, I knew him when. I'm friends with him on the PlayStation Network. Children. That doesn't mean anything to you? That means nothing to you.
Is it real?
Yeah, it's a thing. You know, if you have like a PlayStation 3 or 4 and you have your friends list.
Oh,
Just-
technology,
yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Come on.
but I'm just, you know, it's worth something, maybe. I don't
It's
know.
worth something to a lot of people. I'm just no good at it.
Yeah, I'm not judging.
Okay, so talk to me about TMI.
Yeah, so it's their house improv group.
Whose house?
Gamut Theaters.
No, Ron's house. Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, right. Say what? That's for our black viewers.
Okay, so it's Gamut's in-house improv group.
Yes. And they do shows monthly. So far, I've just been doing shows like at the theater itself, but they sometimes travel elsewhere. I'm excited to do that. So it's myself, Clark Nicholson, Philip Wheeler, Amber Wagner, David Zayas. Let's see. I think that's all of the core people. We have some people that
Dreamweaver?
Oh yeah, Dreamweaver. Of course. How could I? Don't sleep on Dreamweaver, because you know he'll find you.
And make you a better actor.
Yep, that's what he does. Whether you want to or not. But yeah, all those people, they're great to play with. We do shows and I make really inappropriate jokes. And if they're children, then I don't make inappropriate jokes most of the time. And
Okay.
yeah, you know, just improv, I get to go make it up on the spot. A lot of fun.
Sweet deal. So, okay, Harvey. I'm going to see if you. Is it food? You have attention.
Do you want love?
Hold on. Okay, so you're part of TMI, and that's something that you're in for the foreseeable future. Talk to me about some dream roles, or yeah, let's start there.
Anything Wilson. Just, you know, somebody's like, hey, we're doing a Wilson show. I'm like, I'm there. Hambone. Done. Nah, probably not Hambone. Probably something other than Hambone.
Depending on the cast.
Yeah. Like if it's all female except Hambone.
Still in 7th grade, are we?
Well, you know. The women are still pretty attractive, you know. But
Not the 7th graders.
not the seventh. Oh man. Great. Oh, I'm sorry, Lord.
Okay. So, anything Wilson.
Anything August Wilson. History Boys. I've always wanted to do that one.
So close to being aged out of that one.
Well, soon, guys out there.
Anyone? Come on.
History Boys.
He can do accents. You heard my flawless yellow.
Are you saying like you would go see that, wouldn't you, listener? You would. I would do Urinetown again in a heartbeat. After reading Salesman, like Biff or Happy, bang on either one of those. Aaron the Moor and Titus Andronicus. Always love that character because he's just like, yeah, I'm just evil because. I don't need a reason. It's like, yeah, you don't.
Okay.
He's just, you know, it's like, these white people are really mean to me and my people, so I'm just going to screw them all over. It's like, yeah, that's all right.
You identify?
Yeah, you know, all those people I turned into pies.
Okay, sorry, my mind went Sweeney Todd. Yes. Okay.
It's pre-Sweeney.
So pre-Sweeney. Okay, so talked about some dream roles, and in there you gave me a nice segue to ask you about the idea of being a minority in theater who's had the good fortune of working on roles such as Corey in Fences, so you've worked in the Wilson canon as an African American dealing with African American themes specifically on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've also gone into a open racial cast for The Seagull, which Dreamweaver, Tom Weaver, talks about in episode 1 of this show.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about what it feels like and what it means to you to deal with that as an African American actor, performer.
I mean, my case is interesting because lately I haven't really had to do like the shucking and jiving type of roles, which I know I'm very fortunate in that respect, because of things like the seagull and fences and even raisin.
Yeah.
So, but it's in this area. It's there's a very interesting thing that happens where theaters they'll put on a show, and it has these major roles where they need a black person, and it's usually a slave or a servant or a cook, and I don't really always want to play slaves or servants or cooks, so I don't usually go out for those things. And then the phone will start ringing. Be like, hey, you should come play this slave or this servant or this cook. And, I'm over here like, I just did a Chekhov show, I'm looking for something that's like fulfilling in some way. But it's just, it's weird how that always happens. How theaters will put on shows and then, call what seems like all the black people in the area, but that can't be true.
Oh no, we can talk about how the sausage is made. We can say very often, you, I, some other names. I won't speak for any other people, but there's probably I have about 8 regulars who I talk to every time something that requires an African American pops up, and we all get the same messages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm always just like, I don't know you. Like, cause it's always been strange. It's like, oh, I saw you in this show, and it's never something that I'm like, oh, I've always wanted to do that, See, I can't name shows.
That's fine.
But you understand.
Yeah, we're trying to be democratic, but have a genuine conversation, because it usually stops at the idea of, if someone else gets offered a show, then, and if it's a person who's not a person of color, then the idea of, in this very competitive hobby, having someone call you at all should be taken as a compliment.
I mean, yeah, it's flattering, but I keep my ear pretty low to the ground, so I'm pretty aware of what shows are going up. And if I want to go out for something, then I'm going to go out for something. And, that should be the end of it, right? That's how it is for other people.
Is there something in the tone that's bothersome?
Well, yeah, because they approached me like they're doing me a huge favor by letting me play this, this subservient, magical Negro character. That's something I just wanted. That's what I need to be doing, is making this white savior character's life better.
Yeah.
Which there's nothing wrong with that. It can be fun sometimes for money. Sure, yeah, anything for money, but just a lot of the times I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. I'd like to do something else, something different that I haven't done before.
Okay, so you talked about some of the specifically African American roles that you would like to play. Not limiting you to saying that you only need to consider the African American roles, what are some roles that are either traditionally played by white actors or roles that don't need specific race casting that are dream roles of yours?
Juror number 12. Love him.
In?
12 Angry Men.
Okay.
I hope one day I can play Willie Loman. Just gotta keep breathing.
Just get to 38.
Get to 38. Don't pull a Philip Seymour Hoffman, R.I.P.
Too soon, man.
Sorry.
No, he's gone too soon.
He
Not
is.
too soon for you to say
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah, he was a legend.
He should have been. A lot of people said he should have been the Penguin, even though my choice is Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, he
But-
should still be the Penguin.
But when I think about Philip Seymour Hoffman's Penguin, it's just so entertaining in my head. Cause in my head I hear like deep voice like, I'm gonna make it hurt. I'm gonna hurt her. That guy.
Somebody you love.
And then I think to
Find him.
myself, he would have gone. What if he went Capote, like, just real fake? Which I'm not going to do.
Oh,
It's fine.
500 of my closest friends.
Inside baseball. But so Willy Loman's on the list.
Yep, Willy Loman. I mean, this character is black, but Youth and Passing Strange. Gotta throw that one out there.
Yeah, another show that I know doesn't take that many people, but many African Americans want to do is Passing Strange.
Yeah, that'd be cool if somebody like put on Passing Strange. There'd be like a big turnout for that, right?
To quote August Wilson, as soon as white people say something's good, both black and white people flock to a theater.
All right, white people. Ball's in your court.
Is it a basketball?
No, it's like a badminton thing. It's like the ball with like the little spermy things.
Is it birdie?
Yeah. It's in their court.
I know this from Disney's Robin Hood.
Oh, I've never actually seen that movie.
It's amazing. Some of the great voice performances. I believe Peter Ustinov. And then a lot of the designs that are either reused from Jungle Book or then were used again in Jungle Book.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Old school Disney.
Sir Hiss and Ka. Oh my God, the nine old men. Anyways, another tangent. So, those are some other roles you want to play. Are there any dream shows that you just like to tackle in general? That you're just like, that material.
Well, Scottsboro Boys,
Okay.
which I will do. I just, it's gotta wait.
Just when?
Yeah. I'm just gonna keep saying Passing Strange until it happens, I guess.
Which would make you the magical Negro.
I would literally be a magical Negro. Some more Chekhov. I do some more Chekhov. 7 guitars. I'm not old enough, but Floyd.
Floyd, Schoolboy Barton.
Mm-hmm. Love me some Floyd. I don't know.
Anything by Susan Laurie Parks that's up there? Anything?
Well, Top Dog,
Top Dog Underdog?
Yeah, love Top Dog Underdog. Which, again, just gotta wait
Yeah.
for somebody to be like, Top Dog? Maybe yes?
Somebody said, hey, this show has 2 people in it. You want to be one of them? I was like, I'd do that.
Matt and Ben, speaking of 2-person shows.
Okay, so that's essentially the Roommate trilogy, right?
Matt and Ben, This Is Our Youth, and
Top Dog Underdog.
and Top Dog, yeah.
Okay, so anybody listening, this is something that Jordan and I have between us, which is Mindy Kaling of The Office and The Mindy Project, when she was in college, wrote a play with Brenda Withers about Matt Damon and Ben Affleck writing Good Will Hunting. And for me and Payne, it's that, Kenneth Lonergan's This Is Our Youth, and then Susan Laurie Parks' Top Dog Underdog are like the Roommate trilogy that we want to put on. So anybody interested in supporting that crazy idea, drop us a line.
You would make so much money, maybe.
All the goodwill they'd gain with you, they'd lose with me.
You'd make some probably money, and yeah. We would all learn something, I think.
That's a guarantee.
Is that Cajun? You're just doing a Cajun accent?
When I said it, I was like, I hope it doesn't come out this way. It sounds real Louisiana for
A
no
guarantee.
Oh, well, I tried to get past it, but it's okay. Your friends can call you out on that stuff.
Yeah, no. Cajun. I like Cajun food, so.
I finally went to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Amazing city.
One day I'll go there and like get murdered.
Is that the goal?
No, but that's probably what happened. I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna walk down this street. Bah!
So you're gonna be a Wilson story. And that just becomes a 3-page monologue and something Paul Hood writes.
Yep. Like, oh, that's my legacy? Okay. Great.
I would manage your Wikipedia page myself.
Well, you better get just a really good picture, preferably naked.
I don't have a way out of this conversation. I don't have a way out. So, okay. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap it up.
And then my naked picture?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know if I want to leave the people with that.
We literally were talking about if you died, it would be on your Wikipedia page. So you literally would
That'd
be leaving the people with that.
Well, alright, well, you're welcome, I guess, people.
Jordan, JC,
Hey.
thank you so much for sitting down and talking.
No, thank you for having me.
I look forward to seeing everything you do moving forward and sitting down to talking with you again in the future.
Yeah, likewise.